Hello everybody, welcome to the video. My name is Abhi Jain and today in this video I have invited Aviral Dewan who is a 5-star coder at HackerRank. Today in this video he will be sharing about his journey from learning to code and become a 5-star coder and also some valuable tips and resources for you to get started. So make sure you watch till the end. In this video we are going to talk about this competitive programming and all. So like we can get started with the question like what programming language is best for competitive coding?
For competitive programming, it is definitely C++ because it is fastest for competitive programming. It compiles fast and it also has STL, Standard Template Library, which makes writing code in contest very fast. And also, most of the editorials for competitive programming are in C++, so you will have help with those and understanding the solution.
Yeah, that's really great. Okay, so like how do a beginner can prepare for data structures and algorithm like for competitive coding?
After learning, the first step is to learn a language. In this case, it's C++. So after that, you have to learn the basic data structures for C++, which are like arrays, stacks, and queues. And after learning those, you have to learn some basic sorting algorithms like merge sort, quick sort, heap sort, and if you definitely have to learn the STL standard template library like vectors, the binary search function for standard template library. It really makes the writing code fast. So yes, you have to learn them.
Okay, so that's great. Like I have seen a lot of YouTuber have created a data structures and algorithm courses on YouTube, and like there is a one more course on Coursera, which is a beginner guide to competitive coding. So like apart from that, would you
Yes,
recommend a single complete course like for this competitive coding?
well, actually, I haven't learned competitive coding from only one single course. I uh, just solve a lot of problems, and whenever I am stuck on any problem for more than 1 hour, then I just read the tutorial and try to understand it. If there is something new, some new algorithm, some new technique or data structure, I just Google it and learn from them. Or if you really want a course, then you can definitely check out the Love Babbar's Busted DSA course. It has some great teaching material, and yes, the understanding part is also well. After that, you just need to practice more and more questions.
Yeah, like definitely. Like when I started learning to code, I started with JavaScript. Okay, and initially days, I also wanted to go in this competitive coding, and for that, like I started solving some lead code problems for like to build the basics of data structures, and like I was able to solve some of the problems, but I was not able to solve most of the problems. So, like I was feeling demotivated and got when I got switched to the software development. So like my question is, a beginner, like how to approach a coding problem, like what mindset a beginner should go for when solving a coding problem, like.
Yes, this was definitely the case with me also when I started. So I also was only able to solve only one or two problems in contest, and I was not able to solve the rest of the problems, like 6 or 8 problems. So I also felt demotivated. For this, the question competitive programming are more like a story,
Right.
and though the story part doesn't help you to solve the problem. So after reading the problem statement, you just have to, ignore the story part and just try to think that what the question is asking you to solve, the algorithm or technique which you have to build up. You just have to read the problem statement and only remember the important part, like what you are taking as input, what are you doing with the algorithm, and what is the output. Just focus on those part and try to think methodically that firstly you have to write the pseudo code, which is like just English in English language,
Yeah.
and then try to compile it with write it as coding in C++ or Java or whatever language, and then you have to become more methodical. You will get errors, compilation error. You just have to notice where you are lagging, and after you have write the brute force solution or the simplest solution, you will definitely get a lot of errors like TLE or runtime error, segmentation fault. You have to think that where your code is taking more time, and you have to replace it, optimize it with techniques like binary search or some other techniques,
Definitely.
divide and conquer. Yes. And yes, this is the optimize. After you have optimized the code for time complexity, you also need to check whether your code is taking more memory than required, and you have to optimize it. You can use bitwise operators to optimize the memory. Yes, and after that, the question would be solved. So this is the mindset and the steps required to solve the problem.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. That would be really helpful for a big, like, what coding platform would you recommend to a beginner? Like, there are so many platforms like HackerRank, CodeChef, codeforce, etc. So, like, what coding platform would you recommend?
So yeah, I started with HackerRank, and it definitely has a good problem set for beginners. It really has some good basic problems which a beginner can solve while learning C++. And if you are learning a topic in C++, for example, let's say you are learning arrays, then you can, after learning it, on the YouTube or from Google or a good resource, then you can just refer the HackerRank's problem set and solve around 10 to 20 questions on arrays. Then you will have actually good understanding that how is arrays working, where are its uses, and how to use it in any other problem. And after you are done with learning C++, you have to solve more and more problems of all the topics. I mean, you have to completely solve most of the easy questions. And if you feel like that you are able to solve any easy question in under 10 minutes, then you can definitely move to the medium problem part. Then you have to solve all the medium problems. And if you are able to solve most of them in under half hour, then you are definitely good. And then you can start with CodeChef. The same, you have to just solve all the most of the easy problems. And if you on CodeChef, if you like, you can solve them in 15 to 10 minutes. Then just move on to medium level. And if you are able to solve them on the medium level problems, then just move on to codeforces. So yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, that's really good. What was your journey of being a five-star coder and seven-star coder at HackerRank? Because like in a competitive coding, if you are a five-star rater and seven-star rater, it's really important. It's a really good thing.
Yes, yes. So yeah, when I started, my rating was very bad. You know, my rank was uh, way over 10 lakhs on HackerRank. So I was not able to solve even the easy questions. But and one of the problem which I faced was impatientness. You know, I was just reading the problem statement and saying that, oh, I don't know how to solve it, and then just reading the editorial. So it is a bad technique
Yeah.
if you want to become a great competitive coder. You have to just read the problem statement, and for the minimum time, if you are a beginner, then you have to think of about the problem for at least 1 hour. It's the basic timeline. And if you solve around 10-20 questions only on one topic like with this method, then you would be able to solve all the easy questions. This is what I did. I just uh, opened the HackerRank problem set and started solving all the questions step by step. If I was like I could solve most of the questions in 10 minutes, then I would just skip 10, 20 to 50 questions and then pick a random question. I would solve it that with that topic of that topic. And other thing, if you are able to solve medium HackerRank questions in under 30 minutes, then you should solve some of the medium or hard level questions of HackerRank without tags, without knowing in the question that which data structure or algorithm you have to use. Because in contest you won't know by reading just there would not be any tag like you have to solve this problem with arrays or with some other
Like
data structure.
you have
You have
to
to think.
be prepared for competitions.
Yes,
Like
yes. Yes. So it without practicing without tags is definitely a must. You have to do it if you want to score good in competitions.
so like
Uh,
okay, that's really good. So we are in grade 11. Okay. Uh,
yes.
so you have schools and other coachings for your entrance exams. So like
Yes.
how do you manage all these in schools and the competitive programming and all?
Well, actually, it's definitely tough because managing school, competitive coding, and also the coaching classes. So, actually, I have planned my day. You know, I just sleep for 6-7 hours, and I have given a specific time for school. And if I feel like that there is not much teaching part done, or I have a free period, then I just solve the competitive coding questions which I have solved the previous day. The questions which I was not able to solve, then I just think about them in my brain and solve it on some rough paper or copy. And after coming home, I just type the code in from my rough copy into the laptop to check if it's working or not. And also I solve questions like if I have to eat or the laptop's battery is dead or I am traveling, then I just read a question from the codechef or codeforces and try to think about it in my brain. And I usually type all of the answers or the code at night after coming home. So yeah, this is what my schedule is like. This is how I solve problems.
So like you're coding in your schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's a free period. Yes.
Yeah, when I was in 11th grade, I used to play like at all free times. I didn't do that coding. When I started learning web development, I just followed a proper schedule. Like I was coding 6 hours a day for a minimum. So like, would you recommend a proper schedule for for someone who just started competitive coding? Like, I mean, like how many questions to solve in a day?
Well, it really depends. Like, you could solve 15, 20, 35 questions every day and still be a beginner. That's the mistake which I did. I was running after the number of questions to solve in the beginning. Like I said, I would solve 20 questions, but there would not be any benefit of solving those 20 questions if all of them were the easiest questions which I ever solved in my life. You have to not run after numbers, but after the quality of the questions which you are solving. It's better to solve 2 medium questions a day than to solve 50 easy questions. So if you are a beginner, then I would recommend you to just open up the problem set of HackerRank or codeforces or codechef, and then just pick up some data structure which you are having problem with, or whose questions you are not able to solve, and then just try to solve uh, all of the problems till you are able to solve them in under 20 minutes. You have to just keep doing it. It doesn't matter how many questions you solve in a day. I mean, you have to just solve all of the questions of any topic till you are best at it or able to solve it under 20 to 15 minutes.
That is it for today, guys. I hope you liked it. We'll meet on the next episode. Till now, stay safe. Bye bye.